Welcome back. This is Victoria Swinney, Director of the Dulaney-Browne Library and Librarian for Nursing here at Oklahoma City University. This video talks about using advanced CINAHL searching techniques to expand and find more articles when your initial search doesn't find enough. When you're not finding enough articles, sometimes it can be tricky to know how to find more. We'll look at several ways that can help. One thing to consider are those filters that I recommend. I do recommend that you put filters, that you lock the filter, keep the filters between searches, and that you use those three past 5 years, location of practice, the United States, and research articles. But sometimes you might want to consider taking one off, especially the US, if you can get permission to use international articles. You might also take the past 5 years off and make it 6 if you are allowed to go to 6 years, for example. So those are some things that you do. For example, if I take out the United States here, then I go from 11 to 145 on accidental falls prevention in nursing homes. But if I need to keep that list on, which I have to go back to the advanced search to put it back, location of practice, United States. So when I have that search on, there are some other things that I can do. I can think about the keywords that I've typed in here: accidental fall prevention in nursing homes. Do we ever want to do something with falls other than prevent them? Probably not. So let's take prevention out. Are there other kinds of falls that we're not would be interested in? No, they're all accidental. There's not going to be anything else. So I can take those words out, and it actually does help the search. I went from 15 in the US to 55. So I get a much better search without having to eliminate the US practice focus. So that's one thing we can do. We can take out words. Another example of that would be something like metastatic breast cancer pain. Only found 2 articles. So here there are a couple of things I could do. I could take out metastatic and do just breast cancer pain. Then I find 39. Or I could make it metastatic cancer pain. And there I find 15. So taking out words, experimenting with which words you can take out and that still give you what you want, are a couple of ways to find more articles when you're not finding enough. Another thing that you can do in the advanced search is use something called the Boolean operator of OR. So I can combine concepts. My first example here is music therapy and Alzheimer's disease. Use what I did before and not put in the disease. So there I only find 4 articles. So how can I find more? Well, I can go to this advanced search and take the Alzheimer's to a separate row and then put an or. So let's say or dementia. So either music therapy and Alzheimer's or music therapy and dementia. That's what the or does. There I go to 11 articles. So I'm getting a few more options there. Another one that I might do something similar with is if I were looking for headache and massage. So headache and massage, I find 3 articles. Then I can look at them and see, are there other things I might consider? For example, this one has the subject of acupuncture and pain management. That gives me ideas. Am I interested in massage and pain management, or am I interested in headache and alternative therapies? Or those are a couple of different ways that I could go with this search. And so I can look at the subject headings, see if I get other chiropractic. That's another option. So I can see, are there other headings there that might be useful there. And I'm going to use some others that I have looked at in my example here, but I'm going to go back to advanced search. We're going to try first headache and massage, or acupuncture, or alternative, or integrative, or complementary. And we can just keep going with things that we're looking at, or we could add related things like yoga or aromatherapy. And there we're doing two things. We're combining very specific related things and more general related things. And so those are both ways to find more articles. We got up to 13 there. So that's one way to go. We could also go back and look at that the opposite way and say, well, no, I want it to be about massage, but I can take headache or pain and see what I get that way. And so you can play around with what makes sense for what you're looking for to get those numbers to something that works for you. One final way that can be very helpful is to look at standard subject lists to find keywords that match better what you're looking for. And sometimes this is very counterintuitive. I can use the very correct terms like culturally sensitive care, Latino or Latinx, and find very few articles. I only found 11 articles. Whereas if I start then looking at those, one of the things that I notice is that care isn't associated with culturally sensitive in the articles that I'm finding. Another thing that I see is that they're using Hispanic rather than Latino. And if I keep going far enough, I will find the term that they're using for culturally sensitive care. And that is cultural sensitivity. So if I go back to my advanced search, I can add or Hispanic. I don't need to take the others off. If I change this to cultural sensitivity and Latino, Latinx, or Hispanic, I go from 11 to 33. So I tripled the number of results that I found. So those are some basic ways that you can expand your search when you're not finding enough. You can reduce filters, you can eliminate unnecessary words, you can use or to combine related terms, and you can look at those standard subject headings for keywords that match your concept and the way the database is defining them. Finally, I encourage you to reach out for help if you need it. I enjoy helping you and would love to do so. You can email me at vswiney@okcu.edu. You can call 405-208-5072. On many library web pages, there'll be an option to chat, and you can chat with me, or you can schedule an appointment at the URL on that page or from any library page with my picture on it. Appointments can be in person or via Teams, so you don't need to be on campus to do that. Hope to see you soon.